achieved.
Holy cow! Welcome to Studio Day Heffrey. Let's do a Cowboys mailbag today. Okay, rock and roll. Welcome. You're in the studio. We're here. I asked the internet. I said Cowboys mailbag because I can only yell about Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones for so freaking long before we got to do something else for our content in the video. So I said, what would you guys like to talk about? And I'll start with Adam on the tweeter. What would an Urban Meyer Cowboys team look like compared to a Lincoln Riley Cowboys team? Oh, that's a good question from Adam. Okay, so Urban Meyer. This is one I had to think about for a while because I wondered, what is it exactly? Because college is different from the pros, right? He had success at Bowling Green. He had success at Utah. So he took teams that didn't have top-tier talent, and he had great success. And then, of course, Ohio State, he was great. So, and Florida, of course, he was great. And so here is what Urban Meyer would bring to an NFL team. Had to think about it, had to research. So you don't think of him, because I don't think he was ever an offensive coordinator. He was a defensive back as a player. He started off as, I believe, a wide receiver coach. But then as the head coach, think about what his offenses looked like. Bowling Green, he had a dual threat quarterback and led an amazing turnaround from an awful team to a really good team immediately. Utah, he had Alex Smith. And what did that offense look like? It was that zone read spread offense, which that's the NFL. So what he did there, that's current. And then at Florida, the Kris offense was more about drop back passing. The Tim Tebow was more about the option running. And at Ohio State, he changed it up a little bit based on who his quarterback was. So basically, Urban Meyer's down with the zone read principles. He's down with the spread offense. Pretty much all of his offense were based 3 wide receiver sets. So I'm coming around on Urban Meyer. I'm coming around on the Urban Meyer idea. I don't know how you handle leading NFL players versus college players, because college players, you control their life, right? I have your scholarship. I have your playing time. You don't make any money. You have no power in this situation. It's all me. Make me happy or you're in trouble. So from a leadership aspect, I'm not sure how that works. Now, the Lincoln Riley Cowboys, that I feel like I got a pretty good handle on what that looks like, because you've had 3 years to watch as his quarterback changed, how his offense changed. So I feel like Urban did this too, but Lincoln Riley is probably the most current and best at saying, all right, tell me who my quarterback is, and I'll tell you what we're going to do on offense. This year's Oklahoma offense is much different than the last 2 years because Jalen Hurts can't throw like Kyler or Baker could throw. Kyler and Baker's offenses were different, but this one is the most different because now it's about designed quarterback runs more than ever, because that's the tools that Riley has to work with. So if you had Lincoln Riley, I think what you're bringing in is essentially, it's like a much better version of the Cliff Kingsbury hire, where you're hiring a guy who is the head coach, but you're really hiring him and just saying, bring your offense to my quarterback and be awesome. Now, I don't know what happens with the rest of their staffs. This is the biggest problem with the Cowboys, that if you hired Urban Meyer, if you hired Lincoln Riley, who's their defensive coordinator? Who's their special teams coordinator? Who's their offensive coordinator? Is Jerry Jones picking those? Or is your coach picking those? Because as long as the owner and the GM is picking the assistants, the head coach isn't truly the head coach. He's not truly the leader of the team, and that is danger zone, danger zone, danger zone. But I've come around on the Urban Meyer idea. You could talk me into Urban. You could talk me into Lincoln. I think both of those teams look better than the Jason Garrett team. All right, the Cowboys mailbag as we continue. Oh, I like this from Kris. Do we even want to make the playoffs from a draft and team building perspective? I think it's a really good question. The very most basic sports fan in me says, of course you want to make the playoffs. The Cowboys have a good quarterback. They have a fairly talented team. And life can get crazy in the NFL. Just go win. Get in the dance, baby. Get in the dance. Could you host Seattle in a playoff game and beat them? You could. But could you beat Seattle and then go to San Francisco or New Orleans and then play the other one? No. But I think for most sports fans, you look at it, you say, what's the odds the Cowboys win the Super Bowl if they get into the postseason? And we'll be generous and say it's 2 or 3%, right? Maybe even 4% chance. I think a lot of sports fans, you want that opportunity. I'm a team builder at heart, so I'm here for 6-10. I'm here for 6-10. Let the Eagles go take that whooping in the postseason. Let Washington, they lost last night. It's over for them. Let the Eagles take that whooping. Because now if you're the Cowboys, maybe people are uncomfortable taking a nose tackle too high in the draft. And maybe with the 12th or 11th or whatever pick you get Derek Brown out of Auburn. You get a monster nose tackle. Yeah. Maybe you take CeeDee Lamb and you're going Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper. Woo! Now we're throwing the ball, baby. So would I rather lose out? I think in my heart of hearts, I would rather lose out to guarantee I change the head coach, and then I can hire Lincoln Riley, draft CeeDee Lamb, and get to work scoring 35 points a game. Yeah, I think I would want to do that. Shorty at Chorizo81 on Twitter. Why don't we blitz on third down when it's 3rd and 5 or longer? Here is my new big deal with the Cowboys. We all know Garrett's gone, and we all know that's a good thing, right? That'll be great. He's not a good head coach. So I think they should probably get rid of the entire defensive staff too. Maybe there's position coaches you like, and maybe you want to keep them. But the Kris Richard, Rod Marinelli combination, it killed me that during that game on Thursday, Troy Aikman is saying over and over and over again the things that we hated hearing about the offense, but you're hearing it about the defense. That essentially, why is Mitch Trubisky having such an easy time today? Why can Jeff Driscoll have success against this team? Why did Sam Darnold have the best game of his career? Well, the answer is the Cowboys play defense like the Cowboys played offense under Scott Linehan. They line up. Now, I don't want to oversimplify it because no team is running the same defense every play, but basically what the Cowboys show you pre-snap is what the Cowboys are going to run. So Trubisky, a quarterback who's been having trouble with people who are attacking him, with people who are disguising coverages, he's getting to the line of scrimmage and he's looking around. He's like, is that Stomp? We got to stop making that thing squeak while Daddy's doing videos, okay? I know. Squeak's fun. And your comments tell Stomp to calm down. Chill out a little bit. We're trying to make a video here. So the defense, a lot of single high, corners bailing, sometimes man, but they don't disguise much. They don't blitz a lot. They just don't do much. They line up and they play my personnel versus your personnel. I believe my personnel is going to win, and that's hard in today's NFL on a defense. So I'm pretty out on the defensive coordinators as well. I could easily move on from them. Ron Rivera, I think, is going to get a head coaching job, but if he didn't, bring him as the defensive coordinator. Introduce him and Lincoln Riley. They'll be best friends. They'll love each other. You get a new special teams coordinator, and you go dancing. Let's go dancing. Next, let me see what else we got here. Rob on Twitter. Stomp, for real, though. Hey, excuse me. You got it. Okay? All right. If it squeaks, she loves it. We currently have 11 squeak toys in the house. 11. Now, she'll rip the guts out and get to the squeaker, and then it's ruined on most of them. But she's got a new batch right now, and so she hasn't ruined them. Rob, how 2 big D tackles would let the rest of the defense swarm to the ball. Agreed. That's why I'm in love with Derek Brown right now at Auburn. Although I got to dig into more tape. I've watched about 2 games on him, and I love the player. But I am troubled by a guy who's never had, I don't think, more than 4 sacks in a season. My nose has got to be able to rush the passer a little bit. We got to be able to rush the passer a little bit. And I think he can. He's more athletic than most nose tackles. But, yeah, I think that's a big part of the Cowboys' defense. Like, Jalen Smith can't get off blocks or change direction. That's going to be an albatross of a contract for the entirety of the contract. But if you let him run straight and hit, he's got a chance. They don't let him run straight and hit because they don't have a real nose tackle. And their defense, again, back to schematically, get upfield, get upfield, get upfield. All we want to do is penetrate in the backfield and make big plays. Woo! Sweet. So we're going to leave gaping holes for people to run through, and our linebackers can't tackle in space. There's a good plan. Chill out, Rod. We got to chill out with all that. We got to cut that out. But, yeah, I think this team, I've been trying, guys. I've been trying since Timmy freaking Jernigan to get this team a nose tackle when we do this draft work. The Jets, late round pick, Fatukasi. The Florida State, what was the last one? Derek Noddy. I tried to get him to take Derek Noddy. I'm trying to get you a nose tackle. I've been trying for a long time. Cowboys just haven't been doing it. But hey, eventually you learn from your mistakes, right? Maybe they'll go ahead and do that. Maybe eventually that'll get going. Fix it. Get a D tackle. Alfredo, who do you want to be the next defensive coordinator of the team? I don't know the names that are available yet, but I do want a new one. Lawrence, what the defense could look like next year. How to fill the most pressing needs, like D-line, safety, corner, and linebacker. You just listed everything. That's every position. And that's the worst part. That's the biggest travesty of Garrett still being here, is that next year filling the roster is going to be a challenge for Will McClay and the crew. Stop! I'm sorry, that was mean. I'm petting her. She's okay. Yes. Yeah, it's really tough that Jalen Smith is going to get like $12 million a year, and that might mean they don't sign Byron Jones, your best cover guy. I get it. You're frustrated that he doesn't intercept the ball, but if you have a really good cover guy, you want him. I love the way the Patriots built their defense. Get a fat boy. They got Danny Shelton. Get you a fat boy. And then just get you a bunch of versatile pieces up front and rush 5 almost all the time. Now I don't have to have the best players on the D-line. I got a solid nose, and I got versatile pieces. And I'm going to send 5 people because I can cover. If I can cover, then I can send an extra guy. And I don't need 3 great defensive linemen. I don't need 3 great pass rushers because I'm just sending more people because I can cover you. I love that plan. But we got to get a nose tackle. Got to get one of those. Heck, that kind of plan might help Jalen, where you can be a 5th pass rusher a lot and then also be playing some off-ball linebacker. I think that would help him a lot. Do we have anything else? Schoolboy Pooh. Jordan Lewis is our best DB. I like him a lot. I think Byron's your best DB. Jordan brings the ability to actually intercept a ball, which I totally understand the appeal of that. So, yeah, you could go back and forth between those two. And I actually think my guy Xavier Woods has been good this year. It's just been really frustrating the last week or two, the inability to tackle. Just tackle. And somebody else asked about that. Why can't anyone tackle from the bitter beard face? I don't know. I know why Jalen can't tackle, at least in space, because he can't stop and change direction. Why can't Sean Lee tackle all of a sudden? I don't know. Why can't Xavier Woods tackle all of a sudden? I don't know. But it's embarrassing. Tank can tackle. That's about it. But Tank can tackle. That's nice. Jordan Lewis can sometimes tackle. All right, that's your Cowboys mailbag for today. Make sure you're subscribed to the page, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. And make sure you're checking 1053thefan.com every day. As today, in the comments, who's your next defensive coordinator? Let me know. Who's the Cowboys' best DB? Which one do you most want to stick around? That's what we'll do in the comments today. And I'll catch you on G-Bag Nation here in a bit. Wink time.